Yeah, good morning, everyone. So Tuesday we saw a very sharp jump in Indian market, mainly driven by purchasing from FI, and that too was driven by rupee appreciation. We saw sharp rupee appreciation of around 45 paisa from almost around the peak of its level of around 80s. We saw rupee is showing sign of strength. If suppose rupee continue to show sign of strength, then Indian market can see some positiveness on that account. So one should be watchful of that. On the other hand, US market continue to decline. Even in last 2 days, we saw decline, and even the futures are lower. US market is down by around 2% in last 2 days, and further futures are down by around 0.5%. So negative indications from the international market, and that is also getting reflected into Asian market as well, wherein most of the markets are down by around 1.5 to 2%. So incremental negative which is happening in Asian market driven by US market, and even the SGX Nifty is also showing the similar trend that it is down by around 350 points from Friday closing, from Tuesday closing. So going forward, what we see that one should be watchful of rupee where it is moving. That can further trigger the support to the market. Though market may be opening lower, but there could be some support coming from that tactic, as we are somehow behaving a bit contrary to the international market, mainly driven by the strong fundamental. So overall, no doubt we will be opening negative, but there could be some support at a lower level. On the other hand, oil came off very sharply. Tuesday somewhere it was at around 102, and now it is at 95. So there was a sharp correction in that. And apart from that, if we see iron ore, that is up by around 1%, and steel is also up by around 0.5% in today's trend. So overall, seems a bit market opening on a negative side, but quite possible we may get support at the lower level. So I'll request now technical team to take up from here.
Yes, good morning. Thank you, sir. This is Ayush. I'll be covering the technical part for today. So, as Saraj mentioned also about the move on in Tuesday's trading session, like we had given a very strong closing in Nifty as well as Bank Nifty. But Nifty had taken a resistance of 17,800, which is also the previous gap resistance in Nifty. Sorry for that. So, which is also the previous gap resistance in Nifty, and it couldn't close above that. And today, as taking the cues from the global market, we are expected a gap down opening. So immediate support is currently placed in Nifty is around 17,500 levels, which is a trend line support as well. So once we take a support of 17,500, and if we witness a closing below that, then it might drag Nifty towards 17,400 to 17,300 levels. There's an important support zone at every 100 points in Nifty. Whereas if we take a strong support from 17,500 levels and buying emerges from that level, then immediate resistance for Nifty is currently placed around 17,580 to 17,650. Moving on to Bank Nifty has shown a similar double bottom pattern, and it has taken a resistance around 39,000 levels. Around 39,700 levels. That was the big resistance for Bank Nifty, and it made a high of 39,600 in previous trading session. For today, immediate support for Bank Nifty is currently placed around 39,350, and if we witness a closing below that, then Bank Nifty might be testing a 39,000 levels on the downside, followed by 38,650. Whereas immediate resistance for Bank Nifty is the psychological resistance, which is around 40,000 levels. Once we witness a closing above 40,000 levels, then there can be a good strength in Bank Nifty also. Moving on to Nifty Financial Services. Nifty Financial Services, we are seeing a good trading in Nifty Financial Services these days. For today, immediate support is placed around 17,750, followed by 17,640. Moving on to stock specific, Tata Power was looking good on the previous on Tuesday session, and for today, we have already initiated a buy call on that. One can take Tata Power for a target of 255 with a strict stop loss of 230 because Indian markets are very volatile these days from last 2 to 3 trading sessions, especially. So we request everyone to trade with strict stop losses. That's all from my side. I request Nirav to take the.
Yeah, thank you, Ayush. Um, on the derivative front, as we had said in the last trading session, um, most of the indicators were positive. Now, after this almost 500-point move, there was bound to be, some resistance on the upside. So 17,800 was a resistance. Also, the cost of carry has increased a bit from 50 odd to about 70. So that is a small negative. The PCR has also shot up from 0.98 to about 1.4 odd, which is a negative again. The FIs continue to be buyers, which is a good sign. The VIX continues to be below 20, and even after such a big move, did not reduce that much. It is still around 18.7. Moving forward, we expect VIX to remain below the 20 levels. This is a very important indicator. If this closes above the 20 levels, that is when you will see some more selling coming in. But till then, we expect support buying to come in. 17,500 and 17,300, 17,000 put strikes have tremendous amount of open interest built up amongst puts for Nifty. And we expect good support being support buying being seen from the 17,500 odd levels for Nifty. So we are opening down about 250, 300 points today, and most likely we will see good buying coming in again after the first half an hour so. So overall view continues to remain bullish because the data continues to remain positive overall. From the stock specific front, almost everything went up in the last trading session. But the IT sector is one sector, it can still witness more buying. It is underbought at this point of time. A lot of shorts were covered in the last trading sessions, so they are likely to witness good long built up after the first half an hour or so after the opening. So look out for the same. Infosys remains the top pick amongst the same. That's it from my side. I'd like to ask the fundamental team to take over, please.
Good morning. So today auto numbers for the month of August will be declared, and on a month-on-month basis, sequentially from July to August, most of the companies are expected to post flattish numbers, except we expect some growth for Royal Enfield. And on a year-on-year basis, we continue to maintain that commercial vehicles will see the highest growth year-on-year. For example, Ashok Leyland is expected to post a growth of 47 odd %, and Tata Motors also a similar kind of growth number, followed by Maruti, which on a year-on-year basis will grow by 30%. And of course, last year there was impact of second wave during August as well. So year-on-year strictly is not comparable, but specifically in case of Royal Enfield, we noticed that on month-on-month as well as year-on-year, month-on-month improvement is expected at 28% and year-on-year at 55%. So this is within two-wheeler pack. We see this as one company which is breaking out from like if you'll see last 6 months, the average volume has been at around 60,000 levels. They are expected to clock 71,000 in the month of August, and so if this number is delivered, then this will be good for Royal Enfield. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Infosys has divested its minority stake in Trifecta for $12 million. This is neutral to the company. SpiceJet has posted its result for the quarter, and the company has posted okay set of numbers with revenue growing by 31.4% QOQ and coming in at 2457 crore versus expectation of 1862 crores. However, the loss for the company at PAT level has widened and came in at 783 crores versus expectation of 496 crores. With this, the company's CFO Sanjeev Taneja has also resigned with effect from 31st August. Thank you.
Yeah, apart from this, the G Entertainment, there is a news that CCI had said that the market share gain will be much, their market share post the merger with Sony will be much higher. And that has created some doubt about the future. There could be some prescriptions which CCI may be to reduce their market share in some of the businesses, specifically Hindi movie businesses, where the market share is around 44% post merger. So that is possible that they may ask that. The key thing is that the process will delay the merger. The CCI will come up with some type of recommendation on that, and which company had to follow. So the point is of delay, not any questions on the merger or merger of these companies. So to that extent, it is a bit negative for G, as the things will get delayed. Then Zomato has launched Intercity Legend, which means that a customer can order for any product which is from the other city rather than from the same city. They can even order on Zomato Intercity Legend. They can order for product from other city also. So seems a bit positive for Zomato. Then Power Grid Corporation has received has won the one of the order for interstate transition system for eastern and northern states. Though the amount is not disclosed, but seems to be, since it is interstate, then the order size would be bigger. This is on BOT basis, so it will be built, owned and operated by the Power Grid. So that is also positive for Power Grid as well. I'll request commodity team to take up from here.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Gold, silver are likely to witness selling pressure. Gold might settle down around 50,000 to 49,700. Somewhere between that levels, we can enter long for a pullback. But however, it is weak below 51,000. So it could trade in a range from 50,000 to 51,000. So buying around 49, 800, 700 is a good level. Silver rather is weaker than gold. Could test 51,500, 51,000, whereby it can be bought. So overall weakness below 54,000. So selling around 53, 100, 200 is advisable. Crude should witness selling pressure till 7,000, 7,050. So crude is also weak below 7,300. NG, we have seen too much volatility in the counter, where 720 is a pivotal level. So again, as long as holding 720 can test till 740, 750 levels on higher end, then again we could see a selling pressure. Metal pack are also looking weak. Copper may again test 640, 638 levels. 638 is a good support area, so one can buy from 640 with stop loss below 636, 635. Zinc too, we have witnessed selling pressure. However, if 305 holds, one can witness some pullback. So strictly buying for pullback with a stop loss of 304 is recommended. That's it from me. Ria can take over from here.
Good morning, everyone. So, on the currency side, we were all waiting for the India's GDP number, and it had come in double digit. So, for the first quarters, India's economic growth rose to 13.5%. Now, the double digit growth is the first growth in all is the first double digit growth that we are seeing in a year. We saw a double digit growth for India in the first quarter of 21-22. After that, we were in a sharp decline as far as the GDP growth is concerned. So this is a positive news for the USD INR. Though it is in double digit, it is still quite below the forecast of the RBI's number, which they forecasted at 16.2%. For dollar index, now dollar index has again shooted up to 109 levels. The one of the reason why this has happened is, I think, the ADP numbers of the that was released. So ADP releases the private payroll numbers. It has come at 132K as against the expectation of 300K. So of course, the numbers are indicating that the companies have sharply slowed the pace of hiring in August amid the growing fears of economic slowdown. So one of the stronghold that the Fed had for the rate hike was good job numbers. Now we are seeing a decline in that also. So this is one of the red flag towards the recessions. So this is what has fueled into the dollar index weakness. Also, for the Euro USD, we were predicting at least a short-term bullish move due to the natural gas reserve that they had increased quite significantly and before the target that they had set for themselves. But now, yesterday Russia went ahead and stopped the Nord 1 for the natural gas, and this is again putting pressure on the Euro USD. So these two news have fueled into the dollar index, and it could see highs 100 or will stay above the level of 109, 108.80 for the today's session. It A stronger dollar index could also push USD JPY towards 104 levels. It is already trading at 139.53. So any more negative news or that would further send a fresh sentiment towards the recession fears, I think it could further push the Japanese yen toward beyond 140 levels. For the USD INR, we had seen quite a dramatic open today. It tested the highs of 79. It opened around 79.68, testing the highs of 80.12, now settling around 79 near the open. And I think in today's session, it will remain consolidated to, a very narrow range. 79.50 is the support, and it will move within the range of 79.80 to 79.50. So this is the range that it could trade in. For GBP INR, it has again given a gap down, and I think it will continue to trade on a weaker note. 92, 91.50 is the downside level for GBP INR. For Euro INR, it has opened on a weaker note, and I think you could go short into the same below the level of 80 for a target of 79.80, keeping a stop loss at 80.15. For JPY INR, it has given a gap down and if a weakness continues in USD JPY, it could further push the JPY INR below towards the level of 57 and 58.50 in the coming sessions. So that's all on the currency front. Thank you.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.